Would you like to learn how to make a gorgeous winter wreath? Today we are doing a folded ruffle gnome winter wreath. It's going to have notes of this gorgeous blue and silver and gray. It's going to be a very elegant wreath, so I hope you stick around and see how I made it. My name is Nadia and this is Louie, and we're ready to get started. Here are the supplies we're going to use for our beautiful winter folded ruffle wreath. The first thing we're going to need, of course, is a 21-inch roll of Deco mesh that's 10 yards in length. The first ribbon I'm going to be using is this beautiful blue ribbon, wired 1.5 inch, just like this one, except this one has beautiful silver print on it. It's glittered and it's wintry. It's going to work beautiful for this wreath. For decor, I'm going to be using this adorable little gnome. I did get some picks. These are from Dollar Tree. These are from Joann's. And if you want to know where I get any of my supplies, that's going to be listed in the description box below. You're going to need a pack of pipe cleaners and a wreath form. This one is 14-inch metal wreath form from the Dollar Tree. I always like to start by attaching my pipe cleaners, and while we're going to need 18, we're not going to attach them in the same way that we usually do. What we're going to do is 3 pipe cleaners per section, and the way we're going to attach is intersection, 2 on the inside, intersection, 2 on the inside, and we're going to go in a zigzag pattern. You will find that the zigzag pattern works the best for this type of a full kind of Deco mesh ribbon piece. You can do this one of 3 ways. If you have a small sign, for example, today we have the little gnome, it's not that big. So what we're going to do is we're going to zigzag between rows 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, and we're just going to go back and forth just like this. If you have a bigger sign, I recommend zigzagging between rows 2 and 3, 3 and 4. 2 and 3, 3 and 4. So you still have kind of an outer and inner row, but you will see that will work beautifully. A third option for this type of wreath is using rows 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and kind of going back in that pattern. Starting off on rows 1 and 2, I'm going to go right on the intersection. That's a great way to start. Since this is my inner row, I'm going to fold my pipe cleaners towards the inside. It's not like in a poof wreath where that's super important, but it's still easy to find and I still can't help but doing that. Now we're going to go to rows 2 and 3, going to attach and then fold out. The next one is going to go on rows 1 and 2, and now you're going to start seeing that zigzag. That'll be our first section where we started on an intersection and 2 on the inside. Next, we're going to go on rows 2 and 3 for our second section, and then 2 pipe cleaners on the inside, 1 on the inner row and 1 on the outer row. Basically, you're zigzagging back and forth. That's all you're doing. You can definitely see how I'm zigzagging between the rows, and I'm just going to complete the rest of the wreath like this. Because we're using the zigzag method, I have 9 pipe cleaners on the inside and 9 on the outside. It is time to cut our Deco mesh. And what we're going to be doing is cutting our Deco mesh into 20-inch strips, and we're going to need 18 of these. Since my cutting mat is 18 inches, I'm going to need 2 more inches on the side. You can either eye it, or if you know me, you know that I always need to be precise. So I added 2 more inches, or 1.5 inches in the ruler, put it underneath because we have that 1/2 inch right here. So I have my 20 inches. My Deco mesh is rolling onto the table to make things easier for me. I'm going to straighten out this edge because it's a little too wobbly. When I have my 20 inches, I just go right up and then roll the entire piece and put it in a laundry basket. You always hear me talk about my laundry baskets, but that's because I find it to be the best way to store Deco mesh as you're cutting it, especially when it comes to 21-inch Deco mesh. Roll it and put it away. All my deco mesh is cut up and I'm ready to make my folded ruffles. Each piece of deco mesh has 2 edges. The factory edge is both sides of our deco mesh roll. That's the one that has additional strands of the deco mesh on the side. And of course, our cut edge, that's where we used our cutting tool to cut it. The folded ruffle comes in where we're going to take our deco mesh, fold it, and make a ruffle. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my piece of deco mesh and I'm going to bring together both of the factory edges, side to side. Just like this. Then I'm going to put it vertically. This is a long piece, so I like to weigh it down with scissors sometimes. And we're going to start with the bottom. As you can see right here, the deco mesh wants to roll in naturally, so that's what we're going to let it do. About 1 inch in, I'm going to fold it in. That's going to take away some of that possible fraying. I'm going to put this right in the center of my cutting mat. You can easily see where my center is. I'm going to start bringing it together just like you would any other ruffle. When we come to the end, this part is going to want to fold over just like the other edge. See, it naturally wants to. It just, look at this, it curls in naturally because that's how it was put on the spool. Bring it in, and here we have our first folded ruffle. One thing to keep in mind that each of your ruffles is going to have a smooth end. That's the end that is not going to fray, and the edges has a little possibility of fraying. So what I like to do is all of the ones with the folded over edge, I'm going to put on the outside row. Since I'm going to be putting my ruffles in a zigzag pattern, the next one I'm going to invert it and the tails are going to go on this side and the folded over part is going to go here. Since we're going to put all the ruffles with the folded edges on the outside row, this is going to prevent fraying when you're storing your wreath away, back and forth. It's just nicer to have it like that where you know it's not going to get caught on anything. Let's do another one. We're going to open it up and we're going to fold factory edge to factory edge. Then we're going to place it vertically so we can bring it together and place something like scissors on top of it. Working from the bottom, fold in 1 inch, center it and bring it together. Fold at the end and bring this together too. This time the edges with the factory edge are going to face out and the smooth side is going to face in. And this is going on the inner row. Because it's on the inner row, it's not sticking out too much. We still have the smooth ends on the outside. I love that part. All right, my friends, now we're going to speed things up and with the magic of YouTube, we're going to finish up doing the same thing, making the same bundles. We're attaching this ruffle to an outside row, so the smooth end is going to be on the outside and the factory edge on the inside. My friends, this is only 3 ribbon bundles. Look how beautiful and full this looks. I love this wreath. Can you see how insanely full this wreath is? And oh my goodness, look at this. I could have definitely done rows 2, 3, and 3, 4 because it just filled in so much. What I recommend doing to the edges is, remember how we did the inside row with the factory edges sticking out? So what I like to do, go to my inner row deco mesh bundles, pull those out because they're going to fill that wreath in. When it comes to our beautiful ribbon, we're going to need only 9 pieces each to start with, and I'm going to attach the ribbon bundles to the outside row. If I feel like I need to make more, we'll make more, but usually for this type of wreath, I only do ribbon bundles on the outside row. Therefore, we're going to need 9 pieces at 12 inches each. 9 pieces of the blue. I'm going to just prepare these right away, making dovetails while cutting them like this. And then we're also going to need 9 pieces of this really glittery and pretty silver one, 12 inches each. We have 9 pieces of this silver ribbon, and we're going to do the same thing on the ends and cut little triangles to make dovetails. If you have little ones like this, make sure you get rid of these pieces because there's wires on the edges and I'm always so scared that he's either going to get, oh my goodness, here we go. It's a party over here, you guys, it's a party. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this and then I'll be right back. Now I'm ready to attach the ribbon bundles. I did decide to do an extra set of the blue, which means we have a total of 18 pieces of the blue ribbon. And we're only going to be attaching the ribbon bundles to the outside row. Going to start with the 2 blue and put the silver on top. So we're going to grab 2 of the light blue, crisscross them, put the silver one in the center and gather. Attaching it to the outer side, I'm going to do only 1 twist. Now I'm going to stop and we're going to do something additional to this. Remember the little curls I showed you in the beginning? These are from the Dollar Tree and we're going to take them apart. There's 5 little curls on each one and since we only need 9, we should be good. If you take them apart, they have a foiled edge going down. So this part we're going to pull it out later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this, do 1 twist. I'm going to put this little petal over and behind and then do another twist. This will lock it in. So do a few more twists. You can actually just twist it along with this. Twist your pipe cleaners up, cut about 1 inch from the little connection, and then wrap it behind the ribbon bundle. So far, this is what my ribbon bundle looks like. How adorable is this little curl? We're going to arrange the little ribbon bundle all the way at the end because we still have everything else to attach. But for now, we're going to continue making these ribbon bundles and they are so simple, so pretty. Crisscross the blue, put the silver on top, bring it together. Make sure you're on the outside row. Grab my little curl, do 1 twist. Going to fold this over the twisted pipe cleaner. Make it go back of the ribbon bundle just to secure it. Continue twisting my pipe cleaners up. And of course, hide the pipe cleaner tail behind the ribbon bundle. This is looking so pretty already. All right, my friends, I'm going to go ahead, finish up doing all the ribbon bundles on the outside row only, and I'll be right back. All my ribbon bundles are on. Now I feel it's safe enough to go ahead and get rid of all the pipe cleaners that we're not using on that inner row. I'm just twisting them up about 1 inch from the connection, cutting the excess and folding back. That way we have a nice and neat wreath. Next, we're going to work on decorating the center. Remember the really, really pretty pics we had? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up. I'm going to grab another one of those curls and really stretch those out. That's going to work nicely. Look how stunning this is. Any glam girls out there, give me a blue heart if you love this type of, I guess, glam. I absolutely love trying different styles when I'm making my wreaths. All right, my friends, I have the floral wire around my little glam bundle and I'm going to go ahead, put it in on row 1 of the wreath base. But for this, I am going to make sure that I'm going on an intersection just so we have a nice tight hold and it's not sliding. We got that. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this bundle. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. The blue leaves right in front. And I'm going to grab another curl and same thing, open it up and work it in. Grabbing a long piece of floral wire, at least 24 inches. The first thing I always do is bring the 2 bundles together. Of course, make sure our gnome fits in beautifully in there. Wiggle it through and let's attach. Cut off the excess tail on the floral wire and wrap it around the wreath base. Now that the fun part is in, let's work on our centerpiece. Now this part is not for the faint of heart, you guys. We're going to do a little surgery on this gnome. This gnome is weighted down, so it's really heavy at the bottom. So I need to get rid of the part that's weighing the gnome down. Gently cutting into the gnome. Let's cut into the bag. And now just get rid of the little rocks on the inside. I took the bag out completely. There's still rocks in here, plus everything I took out. My gnome had a lot of rocks. Okay, let me clean up and then we'll take care of this little sweetheart. Let's finish taking care of our cutie over here. I'm going to spread out that foam on the inside to make sure it's nice and full. And then I'm just going to use some hot glue to hot glue the little gnome together. Not that the back is taken care of. I'm going to remove the tag and this part. And then I'm going to grab an awl and go through the center of the gnome, followed by a floral wire. And try to go through the center of the gnome. There you go. And this is how we're going to attach the little gnome. I'm just feeding the floral wire through so it's easy to find. Laying the gnome in the center. Let's flip. And I like to attach them up. Let's see how that's sitting. Oh, that's sitting nicely. And at this point, we're going to start thinking how we're going to cover the back, if we're going to cover the back, and our hanging loop. Let's find the top of the wreath, grab a jute cord. I usually go on row 2 or 3. You make a little knot, cut the excess, and pull the hanging loop through the front. To cover the back, you can use anything you want. Today, I decided to use a steering wheel cover. This part's easy. We grab our steering wheel and we start stretching. And I mean, stretch it as much as you can. If you have somebody who can help you, that's a great idea. But if you do not, what I like to do is I start with looping it over the outer ring and holding it in place while the other hand does all that work. That way it's not slipping and sliding. And I'm going to just continuously stretch, stretch, stretch. And then when I know I got more than half of it, I'm going to help with the other hand. All done, nicely covered. If you have anything that's sticking out that you would like to get rid of, now would be the time. Let's flip over and we have one crucial and most important part, and that is taking care of our ribbon bundles. Remember those? Alrighty, my friends, now we open all the ribbon bundles like a little flower, especially that we have 6 little, I guess, petals. This is too cute. Look at this. How adorable. Since the little curl is facing up, as you can see, you're looking at it and you can't really tell that it's a curl. What you want to do is pull it out a little bit and kind of put it to the side. You see what I mean? That way you can see it a little bit more. Oh my goodness. This is too adorable. I'm going to go ahead and do that to all my ribbon bundles and just make little flowers going all along. All that blue ribbon, we're going to try to face it in as much as we can to bring more blue into our wreath, because we do have quite a bit of that silver. Now the wreath is going to come to life. Now you're going to see a lot more of that blue. I'm done taking care of all the ribbon bundles, and I think this frosty looking adorable wreath is perfect to stay on your door for the winter months. You enjoyed this wreath tutorial on DIY with Nadia. I make wreaths for many holidays, different techniques, different styles. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye, my friends. Mwah. We say bye. Mwah. You're such a good boy. Bye, my friends.